Apple, you scare me. Okay, I am sorry if I look crazy. It's literally 7 a.m. I haven't been in bed yet. The unfortunate thing about having insomnia is that if I don't force myself to go to sleep, I literally will be up. But I am up because I was editing my Black Romantic-a-thon video that was going up today. And it's going up, so I have to like wait for it to like upload and stuff on my computer so I can go to bed. And while I'm waiting, I decided to do this vlog, and I'm going to be reading the Secret Circle series. I'm obsessed with the Secret Circle TV show. I rewatch it all the time. It only has 22 episodes. I think of it as having 2 seasons instead of 1 because the first half of the season feels very different from the last half of the season. They feel like 2 different seasons, so in my mind they're 2 seasons even though it's 1 season. It's 22 episodes. I'm absolutely obsessed with the show. Faye is like one of my all-time favorite characters. I love Phoebe Duncan. Me and my sister are rewatching the originals right now. Well, I'm rewatching the first season. I never finished the originals, but I love Phoebe Duncan. Okay, I loved H2O. I'm a Phoebe Duncan girl, right? So when I was watching her as Haley, I'm like, wow, I miss Faye because they kind of have the same personality, except Faye had a little bit more personality than Haley, at least from what I'm seeing so far. And I was like, I miss Faye. Faye is like one of my favorite characters. She's a mean girl. She's one of my favorite mean girls. And so I was like, why don't I do a video where I reread the Secret Circle? So I asked, some people said yes, some people said no. But then I decided to take it a step further because earlier this week I was gonna read the 9 Lives of Chloe King. I wasn't gonna vlog it, I was just gonna read it. But then once I thought about this, I was like, why don't I start a series where I read books from canceled TV shows? Because a lot of the canceled TV shows were literally my favorite shows. Like the 9 Lives of Chloe King, I was obsessed with it. Obsessed with the Secret Circle. Like the Secret Circle is one of my favorite shows, like all time favorite shows, and I hate saying that because it only has 1 season, but I literally rewatch it like once a year. So I decided, why don't I read the series so that I can like at least get a picture of what happened in the series, and like so I can like take the characters and like picture them like in the book. So I'm reading the first book, which is called The Initiation, and I am I think like 30% through. It's boring. Nothing is happening. It's a lot different from the show. Like I think the creators changed a lot of the like important things. I'm not gonna lie. Like for good reasons. Like the mom, I don't think has died yet. I don't know if she dies, but the mom hasn't died yet. But they are moving. Well, maybe I should explain to you what it's about. So Secret Circle is about this girl named Cassie who in the show her mom dies and they're like running away from their like home, but the Cassie doesn't know that. So she ends up moving in with her grandma, and once upon moving into this new town with her grandma, she ends up discovering these group of kids, and then she ends up getting involved in this group and discovering that they're a witch and she's a witch too, and they're all drawn together, and it just takes it on from there. Also they end up discovering like their parents were witches, and like there's history in that town, which is like really cool. So in the book so far, it's just her moving to this new town with her mom, and she sees these kids and she's just like being nosy, but there's not really a lot going on. There's nothing really happening. I'm not really enjoying the writing. It's very like clunky, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot going on in the writing and not a lot being said. It's very descriptive for absolutely no reason, and the way that they talk is like very very weird, like very weird. So Faye she still has her name, because you know sometimes they change names. There's a character named Deborah. I don't know if that's supposed to be Melissa. And the TV show, Melissa was like Faye's like side character. And also there's Nick. Nick has been name dropped. I love Nick, but I also didn't really care much for Nick, if that makes sense. So he's been name dropped, but he's said to be Deborah's cousin. And then in a TV show, Melissa and Nick had like a thing going on. So I don't know if Melissa's a character yet, or if like they replaced Melissa with Deborah. I'm also very excited to see like what they've changed, and also like what I can remember, because I rewatched it in a while, so I'm gonna try to remember as much as I can. And I want to rewatch it, but I'm already watching Lincoln Heights for the first time and then the originals with my siblings, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough time to rewatch The Secret Circle for this vlog. I'm gonna see like what I can remember because I watched it a lot. So it's not very good. It's not very well written. Cassie's a very like insecure character. She just wants to like fit in, but she's also like, so she just witnessed like Faye and this girl fight, and then Faye was like, don't say anything, and Cassie snitched on her anyways, and now like they're kind of picking on her, but like magic wise. So like she felt something move in her backpack, and then she said something to the teacher, and the teacher was like, girl, it was like a fake snake or something like that. Also, they're supposed to be seniors, I believe, but they don't talk or act like seniors. They talk like freshmen or like middle schoolers, to be honest. They just don't, I don't know, like I'm pretty sure the author was a grown woman, so I feel like she kind of tried to make them sound a lot more childish, I guess. I don't know, they just don't talk. It was written in the 90s, and I was only born in 98. I was not in school in the 90s, so I can't really say what they were talking about, but like I don't think real people talk like how these characters talk. But I love Faye so much. Like I miss her. Like, that was my girl. Yes, I'm gonna get back to reading. Actually, I think with all the talking that I did, the video should be done uploading, but I'll probably be back when I'm done reading, because there's 6 books and I don't want this video to be like 7 hours long. But yeah, I'm very excited for this vlog. My only fear is like I'm not good with reading series, so my only fear is that I am not going to finish this series. But rather I do or not, this video is getting uploaded, so I might not finish the series. This might just be like an unfinished vlog. Okay, y'all, I am not sure I'm gonna make it. I am not sure I'm gonna make it through the series. I just finished the first book and I give it 1 star. The writing is absolutely terrible. The characters talk, the dialogue is so weird. The whole book was absolutely nothing but conversations. Like the entire book they were just talking and talking about absolutely nothing. It's like very different from the book. Diana's still in it, Adam is in it. Diana and Adam are dating, and then Adam gonna tell Cassie that he loved her, and I'm like, y'all have only known each other like not even a month, and you talking about something, you love Cassie, but he still loves Diana, which is his girlfriend. Diana and Adam are dating, and then Cassie is like his soulmate, basically. It's not really, I don't think it's ever really said, but whew, I'm out of breath, sorry. But that's basically what she is. She's like his soulmate. Like they feel very drawn to each other. They want to be with each other. But he is with Diana. That's like a main conflict. I never really cared about that because I don't think Adam was all that cute. Like they did not cast and be all that. So I'm still picturing them as like how they are in a TV show. Some things have changed. Like instead of being 6 of them, there's 12 of them. Hello? Yeah, so instead of being 6 of them, there's 12 of them. But it's just like, it's not that interesting. I'm not sure how this author got 2 series. Both of my favorite series, by the way, even though The Secret Circle doesn't really count as a series because it's only 1 season, but whatever. 2 of my favorite series are written by the same author. I've read The Vampire Diaries. I have a reading vlog on Mayana Reads. But it's just like, the writing sucks. Like how did she get these published? And like, she was a best-selling author, which it doesn't take much to be a best-selling author, but it's just like, girl, if she can get them published, and like, dang, I could have got anything published, because they're just not good. Like the way that they talk, the writing is just very confusing. So yeah, I gave it 1 star. It was terrible. So I'm now on book 2, and I'm about 60% through the book. It is like 5 a.m. and I really struggled to get into this book, but once I decided that I was like reading this book to I don't know, I guess more so to remind me of like the differences between the show and the book, and to like I have to remind myself that I'm trying to figure out like what they were gonna do with the plot, but like I guess not really, because this is like so much different than the show, but it is reminding me of plot lines. So if you've never seen the show before, this is probably gonna be spoilers for that. It's probably been like over a decade since this came out though, but whatever. So spoiler, you can watch it on like the CW.com, but it took me a while to get into the book, but I'm actually finally interested. I'm like 60% through it. It talks about crystals a lot, which crystals was like very important to the original plot line, but as of now nothing is really happening. I find the characters like very like one-dimensional, and it's like okay, Cassie, she's a loser. Like, I'm sorry, she is such a loser. She's very boring. There's not much to her. She's in this love triangle with Diana and Adam, which was, you know, on par with the TV show. I hated that plot line. I just didn't think Adam was really that cute. I think that the directors of the show really had an eye for everything, and that's also why it's fun reading this, to see like what they changed and how they changed it, and why the things that they changed was such a good idea. Because okay, so it starts off with 12 of them. So in the book there's 12 of them, but in the TV show there's 6 of them. But in the TV show, Nick dies. So once Nick dies, a few episodes in, you end up finding out that Nick has a brother named, was it Luke or Chris? One of them is his like his real name. One of them is like the actor's real name. He played in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. He played Flash in Spider-Man. I was obsessed with his actor in that era. That actor in that era, he was in like 10 Things I Hate About You. Fun fact about me, if you don't already know this, is I'm very good with actors or people in general. A thing that I like to do a lot is like I like to watch TV shows, and I like to guess where I know them from. Fun fact about me, I guess. But yeah, so I think his name was Luke. Okay, so you find out that Nick has a brother, and then towards the end of the show, I think you find out that there's supposed to be more of them, and crystals play a huge factor in this series, which I love. Crystals and herbs. I think actually if I go back and watch it, I'll know the herbs. Now that like I'm into herbs, I have herbs of my own. My herbs actually have a bunch of herbs and crystals. I make my own homemade teas, which I don't know where. I have like a specific tea ball. Oh, I forgot to mention, I am not going to be reading all 6 books. At first I was going to just read until I get bored, but I've just said I'm just going to read 3 because I found out this was originally a trilogy. So I'm just going to read 3 because I'm sorry, but I cannot make it through all 6 books. Like, I don't like the writing. I think that it's terrible. I think that the characters are not written well. I think that the characters' dialogue is terrible. Actually, I'm back because there's one thing I forgot to mention. So there's this scene that's very similar to something that happens in the show. So there's a scene where these guys pop up. They're like pizza delivery guys, and then the pizza delivery guys just kind of like start flirting with them, and it reminded me of one of my favorite episodes where it's Valentine's Day and the girls are like really sad because they're like lonely, so they summon up some boys, and one of the boys that show up is like a pizza delivery guy. Like, I love the episode. And another one of my favorite episodes is actually this episode where, so they end up finding out that their parents were a coven as well, and so like their parents passed down like their like grimoires and crystals, and this has been something that's been going on with their families, because Cassie grandma, like, she just doesn't like it. She thinks that, like, you know, she thought that her daughter shouldn't really be into that stuff, and like it wasn't good, and so that's why her daughter ended up leaving, or maybe she encouraged her daughter to be into it and she left. I don't remember. So then you end up finding out that history repeats itself. I really love in media when they show that history repeats itself, and it's an episode where it's prom, and so all the kids are actually playing their parents, and you end up like finding out like what happened with the parents, and there's like this huge secret that their parents had that they were trying to discover. Like, it was genuinely such a good show, and I'm not getting that from the books. Like, I'm kind of getting it a little bit, but like not really. And I'm just trying to figure out where, like, the creators of this show, they deserve to create something else, because what they took from this book and like changed and fixed and everything was just like so amazing. So yeah, now that's it. I remember originally why I came here. There's so much that I'm gonna have to cut out because I talked a lot, but hopefully I still keep like the good points and the points that were like on track, because I feel like I post like some interesting conversations. Okay, so I have completed the book, and honestly, once you get past the atrocious writing, it's actually pretty bearable to read and like really easy to read. Okay, so this book is really not afraid to kill off characters. I don't know why, but even though this is a YA series like meant for people in high school, for some reason it reads like middle grade. I don't know, that could just be me. But so the plot line of, so basically what happens was, so they have these skulls, these crystal skulls, and I can't remember if that was like already a thing, because I know every family had like their own crystals, and I remember like at the end of the show like a crystal skull popping up. And also, let me know if you want me to like rewatch the show before I like rewatch the show before I do like one of these, or should I just not rewatch it and go just based off memory? Because I honestly think based off memory is fun. If you think I should rewatch it, then like let me know. So basically, this character named Black John is introduced, and in the show you end up finding out that Black John is actually Cassie's father. And so in the show they have this skull and they can't really figure out like what to do with it. And so Black John, so like they also have like a leader, which like is Diana's the leader in the TV show. She's also a leader in this book, but it's not really said that she's a leader in the TV show. And so in this one it said that she's leader, and but Faye ends up becoming the leader. And so with Faye, she wants them to start using the skull, and she wants them to like channel from it, because she has been communicating with this Black John, and if they go to where he's buried at, they'll be able to figure out like how to get like their full potential power. And so he's basically manipulating them and lying to them. And honestly see why they're teens, because in these shows it's like so easy to manipulate and girl, it's so easy to manipulate and lie to them and tell them like whatever, because they're teens. And also things like that, it's like if teens was like what supernatural powers existed, that would be something that would absolutely happen. And so why must you do this every time I record an apple? So at the end of the book, Faye is now the leader, and they're trying to channel from this, and Black John is now arising from the dead. And that happens in the show, like Black John is like dead, and he ends up tricking them into using this crystal skull to bring him back. I remember that happening. So those are pretty much on par. But that actually happens, like, I can't remember if that's towards the end of the series or not, but I'm pretty sure it is. Because I remember like the skull popping up, and then the Black John guy coming and picking up the skull, and then the show ends, and then we never hear from it again. But my memory could be wrong. Also, the character I've been calling Luke, his name was actually Jake. Because they introduced Jake like halfway through, like they literally introduced Jake like episode 13. Like they introduced him halfway through the series, which I hate when people do that. They introduce new characters halfway through a series. So this video is kind of juicy. Okay, so I'm starting the first book, right? And I'm reading it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I don't know, like this third book, like it's the more I read it, the more I'm remembering things from the series, and the more it's like the series to me. So okay, so Adam and so basically Faye is exposing to Diana that Adam and Cassie have been like doing whatever, like sneaking around behind Diana's back, which I remember happening in the series. I think she exposed that like Adam and Cassie met back when she lived in Cape Cod, which is her original town before she moved to New Salem, which is this town. She exposed like they also have this dog named Raj, which I keep forgetting to mention. he's actually talked about a lot through this series. I just keep forgetting to bring him up. And she mentions how, like, she's like, yeah, that's why Raj was so familiar. And like when they were like picking on Cassie, they had to write poems for school, and they exposed like that poem was about Adam, so like they're exposing it, right? And I'm like, oh, this is kind of juicy, just kind of good, like maybe I'll continue on with the series, right? So I go and look it up on Goodreads because I like to see what other people are saying first, because I just want to know, like, maybe should I just give it a read. And so when I'm looking at the fourth book, I notice there's a name, it's like Audrey something, and I'm like, well, why does it say that two people wrote this book? So I go and I read this review, and basically she says that the creators of The Secret Circle and The Vampire Diaries took away the author LJ Smith's rights to her own stories, because when you, I mean, I'm saying this like I know, but from what I've learned, when you sign over your series, you sign over for them to own it most of the time. Like sometimes you don't even get, like sometimes you sign over your story and it won't even come out. It's just so like other people in Hollywood can't have that idea, or they'll completely change the idea. They'll probably use the idea for something else or someone else, but once you sign over the rights, you signed over the rights. So they basically told this author that she couldn't write it anymore because they just didn't like where she was taking the story, so they had someone else write it. And I kind of knew that they took away her rights, but I think I just knew that to The Vampire Diaries, and I only knew that because they took away her rights and they completely threw her off. Like she just had no voice whatsoever in The Vampire Diaries, because a lot of Bonnie and Damon scenes, because the Bonnie and Damon were together in the original Vampire Diaries books, and also Bonnie was like a white woman with red hair, but whatever, who cares? I love Bonnie and Damon so much, and you can see that they were meant to be together. Like Bonnie and Damon are soulmates, okay? They're such soulmates that even in the TV show you can see that, right? And so people were shipping Bonnie and Damon so much that Julie Plec didn't like that. And so what she would do is she would steal scenes from Bonnie and Damon, the book, and give it to Damon and Elena. So there's like this famous like bathtub scene that that Damon and Elena end up having in the show. You might know what I'm talking about. I don't really remember it, but that was originally a Bonnie and Damon scene. And it's like, wow, there's so much soulmates that you had to steal their plot lines and their cutest, greatest moments and give it to Delana, and Bonnie and Damon still overshadowed. I feel like, I also think that's why Julie Plec made them like hate each other so much and tried to like make them enemies until she made them best friends, because she did not want people to ship them at all. But of course, like even when they were enemies, I remember when she hated Damon so much, I would be like, they should kiss right now. So there's a tea on that. Okay, so I finished the book, and that'll be the end of this vlog. So I'm gonna make this quick. Okay, so basically the book was just like they going off the deep end and just being assholes to like everyone, and then yeah, nothing really happened. I just given it 2 stars. I don't really like the writing, and Cassie and Adam said they loved each other at the end, and it's just like them like discovering that they're like soulmates and things like that, which I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did like that. I ate that up. Yeah, so after this there's gonna be a clip of me watching the first episode. I don't really know how I want to go about that, so like you guys let me know, like if I should, like if you prefer me to like watch it beforehand, if I should like watch the first episode in these, should I watch like should I watch like a few episodes, like what I should do. If you like that segment, I don't know, let me know. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Actually, also, okay, so a difference so far is that, so when the show starts, Cassie, the main character, her mom are moving to New Salem, and before she moves there, she actually sees Adam, and she sees these guys who are trying to kill him, and they're witch hunters. And also the dog Raj is there, but they're witch hunters. If she doesn't know that, she doesn't know she's a witch, she doesn't know any of this. That's also a big difference so far. Her mom was alive and they were just moving there for a fresh new start, whereas her mom's death is what caused her to move here in the TV show. So Adam has just been introduced, and like I hate who they casted for Adam. Like I don't think he's that cute. Oh my gosh, Faye.
Yeah, that's me. You're very pretty. Try it again. That's Faye, resident bad girl. She's convincing. Hi, I'm Diana. I'm Cassie. Cassie Blake. I know your grandmother. It's a really small town. I gotta run, but everybody hangs out at the boathouse after school. It's right on the waterfront. You can't miss it. So stop by and I'll show you around.
I wish people were that nice to me when I started new school. But basically, well, I'm not trying to get copyrighted for music, actually.
So,
Adam's actually not that ugly.
this is your dad's place?
I was kind of mean.
You can take a seat wherever. I'll bring him in.
Okay.
Okay, he's not ugly. He's just not like... He's not ugly. Why did I think he was ugly?
You know, I saw you at school today.
I think he's just not like... I don't know. Something about him is different than like most teenage boys. But like when I first watched this show, I was not... I didn't think he was attractive. Which I have this thing where it's like, I don't find the guy... If I don't find anybody in the cast attractive, I just cannot watch it. Mainly the guys. Because like, they always have attractive girls. But like, if I don't find any of the guys attractive, I just like cannot watch it. So anyway, so yeah, I just did not find him attractive. But one thing I can say is that the soulmates plot line for them served. Like,
It's not over. I'll get back to you.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
Adam's a hottie. You should make a play. You're totally his type. Stop it, Faye. What? It's true. I'm Melissa. Nice to meet you. And I'm Faye Chamberlain. Yeah, we met. And sort of. Now it's official. Hey, sorry to hear about your mom. Thanks. And your father? Where's he? Well, he died just after I was born. My father's dead too. I still have my mother though.
commercial?
Three?
Child was in a commercial in Life Ever.
Just lost her mother.
and
We all agreed.
also in the circle, they don't have like real power. I think without the skull. Apple. Say hi, Apple. But the acting, or not even the acting isn't bad actually. It's like her character has the personality of a paper rock, which like sucks because in the book her character is just annoying and like very boring, and it's like wow, her... Ouch, Apple. Crazy girl. Ow.
Who you are. This is getting really weird.
Hey, you don't have to be scared.
Somebody tell me what's going on. Look, Cassie, I know it's easy, okay, but that fire yesterday. I don't know how to say this. There.
Stop, Apple. Ah, commercial.
Beyond crazy. The truth works that way.
Cassie, I know how this sounds. The truth is, our ancestry is part of a legacy that dates as far back as 16.
White people in these witch shows are always like, our ancestors, our ancestors, our ancestors.
It's all in here.
Your ancestors were slave
Everyone
owners.
has a book.
How about that?
Like this one, a journal that lays down each family. Bad. I got a little out of hand.
Complete circle is 6. One from each of the 6 families.
You're the
Okay, so in the book,
You complete the circle.
they had, it was like 12 families that ruled, which 12 makes a full coven. Like, that's like a thing, like 12 makes a full coven. Or is it 13? I'm pretty sure it's 13. Anyways, but yeah, so it's 12 of them, and I kind of like the 6 more, but then they end up discovering there's more than 6 of them. This is why I need to keep watching because I don't remember. Although the ads, I'm not really fucking with the ads. In the book, it also is mentioned that they all, like, their families have like a specific thing that they have like power over, like water, fire, earth, air, stuff like that. That's why Faye is so drawn to fire, and it kept that very in lock with her character in the book. Why didn't they just show her that they had power beforehand? Oh, this is like the part where like the water's like floating in the air, and she was like, and they were like looking at it or whatever. I think.
It's not as crazy as it seems.
Yes, it is. This is insane. All of you are insane.
Our parents had a circle just like ours.
God, can you hear yourself? My mother was not a witch. I would have known.
It was all covered up. Something went wrong. People were hurt. They were killed. So they abolished witchcraft.
I don't believe you.
Just show her.
You're not the only one who's lost a parent, Cassie. We all have.
There's no such thing as witches and magic. I don't believe it. I can't.
Also, what's the tea on why they lost their parents? Because I don't remember. Oh, finally he wants to show her. Why didn't they just show... Why did they not just show her in the first place? I don't know why they thought she was gonna believe him. Mind y'all, they took her to an abandoned building in the middle of nowhere.
It's okay, trust me.
I would have thought y'all was trying to kill me. I would have been like,
Close your eyes.
y'all trying to set me up, huh? Oh, he done touched her hand.
That tingling when my hand is touching yours.
She in
It's
love.
your energy.
Got some long eyelashes.
Try again.
I don't know why I thought he was ugly. That's kind of cool. I can't hold it. I can't lie. It's kind of cool. You have a girlfriend! And she's right there. It's not... And she's the one that pulled away. Like, it's not even like his girlfriend is like 10 feet away. Like, she probably watching from behind the trees. Like, they could at least did this in her backyard or something. I don't know.
What about your bad things?
Wait.
Tell me.
Why do you want her?
So she's talking to Adam's dad. And Adam's dad is like, oh, me and your mom were meant to be together. We were in the stars, and so are you and Adam. So...
Your father was a bad man. Hello, Ethan. Is he bothering you? We're just talking.
So, like...
Looks like you got a little too much to drink.
Are they... Oh, so, like, how does that work? Like, what... Are their families meant to be together? And because, like, her mom and his dad end up together, they have to end up together? Or was it supposed to be, like, some type of incest thing? And, like, they were going to be siblings and they're supposed to end up together? Because that definitely needs to be explained at some point. These commercials are getting on my last nerve. I do know that.
Why don't we call it a night?
His hair is not doing it. Adam's hair is not cutting it for me. I just love a good witchy show, like. And then this is not like in the hands of Julie Plec, because like with Julie Plec, she like witches are like they have the ability to be the most powerful in like the TVDU, but for some reason Julie Plec only uses them when she needs them for plot or like to help the characters out. When they could be like have everybody fearing for them. Also, now that I remember something, when Cassie's grandma was talking to Faye's mom, she was like, oh, Faye's mom was like, oh, they're just teens. But I remember, because my favorite episode was the episode when the characters were their parents and it was prom. They were also teens when they had discovered. So why does she assume like just because they're teens they haven't like discovered it and will keep a secret? Because if it's one thing a teen would do is discover something and keep it a secret. Like, what? Oh, this bitch is crazy. Why is she standing in the rain like this? Please. This bitch got struck by lightning. Please. No, because this is cringy. Oh, that was cringy. That was cringy. That was really cringy. I did not like that. I didn't like that at all. I think it's only because I don't like Cassie as a character.
You did it. You're one of us. You stopped it, Cassie.
Oh, his creepy ass. They need to start doing protection skills.
Coming at me.
Gift.
She is her father's daughter.
Oh, I forgot this bitch was like she was plotting to get her there.
Are you sure you can get Cassie to do what we need?
I wonder if the stars are gonna say Adam and Cassie forever. Now she wanna embrace it, that magic. This song is kind of pissing me off. I hate the sound of crinkling paper.
You're finding this means I'm gone. I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to have this life. Destiny's not easy to run from. I hoped that keeping a secret would keep you safe.
Can't run from
But all
destiny.
I've done is left you unprotected. You have incredible power inside you. People will come for it. They will come for you.
Is that I watched that first episode and I was like, ooh, I want to watch more. That was good. Not saying that was bad, but like the end of that first episode, it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like gasp worthy. Like, oh my gosh, like, should I continue watching this? Like, what if I watch this and I'm like, this actually isn't my favorite show anymore? Like, was that just the rose-colored glasses, girl? Like, I'm not saying it was bad at all. It was like definitely but it is a pilot episode, and like one thing about pilot episodes is they don't be as good as the second episode. Really is what gets you. Like if you watch a second episode and you think that shit is cringy and not good and boring, tap out for real. I am going to be going to bed because it is 8 a.m. So I probably won't be waking up until probably when the sun is going down, unfortunately.